What's happening, everyone? Welcome to this deadline stream video for Game Week 32 FPL season 2020-2021. My name is Mo and this is my channel FPL INKLING. How is everyone? I'm fine actually after recovering from last week's not so great performance. I got 48 points for the average of 46, so it's above average. I wanted a bit more, but hey, Kevin De Bruyne didn't play and he was my captain and it all went downhill from there. So we'll discuss more about it, we'll discuss my decisions, and I'll go through all the questions that you guys have sent through to me this week, and we are close to the deadline. Well, this deadline for Game Week 32, so make sure you get your team submitted in by 6:30, Friday the 16th, 2021, April 16th April 2021. First game of the game week is going to be the double game week team Spurs playing Everton away at Goodison Park. So make sure you guys get your team submitted in. Captaincy choices all selected beforehand. How are we looking? Lovely. So before we begin, just going to say thank you everyone for subscribing to FPL INKLING and making this channel grow week in, week out, and thank you for tuning into my content. Yes, I am releasing it quite regularly, and do you know what? It's all for you guys, for the feedback you've given me and the kind support, and I'm looking to make sure that I can get set up and going to deliver this to the end of the season and start it off from next year as well. So I'm going to be here for, well, you know, this season and next season. So guys, please hit the subscribe icon if you guys like this channel and you guys like the content that I release. Be part of the family. Help me get to that 500 subscriber mark by the end of the season. Only 7 game weeks to go, guys, now. Get me there and help me win that PS5 with the bet I have with my friend. And in addition, if you like this video, hit that like icon and hit the notifications bell icon if you want the latest notifications of when I release my content for you guys to click on and view immediately. So let's get stuck into what we're going to do. We're going to go through some questions with you guys today that you guys have sent through with me. I've got my team up, which is my team selected for this game week. I'll go through my transfer that I've made for this game week. So I've only taken one hit. But there's no points that are deducted because that was my one weekly transfer that I had available. And then at the end, before we finish, we'll go through the game week fixtures, my kind of like expectations of the results, my predictions, and that is where we will go with this stream. So first question is first, what transfers have I made? So as I said in my team selection video, I've taken out Kevin De Bruyne, various reasons, risk of rotation, fixtures not as friendly as who I've brought in for. Blank in game week 33. So ideally for me, I had to get someone in who fitted in all those criteriums with the opposite, and that was Salah. So I've got Salah, who's playing Leeds this weekend. I can get his fixtures up as well. You see a sea of green and one red, which is Manchester United at Old Trafford in a couple of game weeks. But the best thing about Liverpool in my situation now is there is no other competition they're playing for. So they've been knocked out of the Champions League by Real Madrid earlier this week. So they're going to put all their eggs in one basket. And in terms of risk of rotation for Salah, don't think it'll be much of a concern. If anything, maybe drop, well, not drop, maybe bench for one game here and there. But I think they've got so much at stake at the moment to play for Liverpool that they won't risk dropping him at all. So that was my rationale behind that decision. So let's go through some questions. Will Madison Perez be back for Leicester against West Brom? Now, the story around these players for Leicester was that they broke COVID protocols, so they were dropped for the previous game that they played against West Ham. It cost them. They lost 3-2. It was a crucial game, to be fair, because West Ham are knocking on the door for the top 4 position, and they've made some ground on Leicester as well. So this game actually becomes quite vital for Leicester because West Brom have done really well recently. They're the highest scoring team in the last 2 game weeks, 5 against Chelsea away and 3 at home. This last weekend. So they've got 8 goals in the league. They're the highest goal scorers in the last 2 games. Defensively, they've done not too bad either, only conceding 2 goals in the last 2 game weeks. And they were both against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. There's no shame in that. So they're showing some really good progress and sign, and Sam's never been relegated. So this is not going to be an easy game week for Leicester. And let's have a look at a few more games because it's quite interesting to see. Let's get Leicester up with their fixtures. Let's just get Madison on screen. As you can see, there's some really good fixtures here. So they've got West Brom, Crystal Palace, Southampton, Newcastle, all green. And then they've got Manchester United, Chelsea, and Tottenham as the last 3 games. Now, all these teams are going to be fighting for the top 4 squad. I think United, by then, will have a more clearer idea of whether they are completely qualified or they're still looking to qualify. But I think by that time, the way United have played and the kind of the gap they've created between themselves and the 4th team in the league, it's 11 points. I think it's 9 points. Sorry. So yeah, I think they're pretty comfortable for now. Obviously, dependent on results, whether they lose a few games and the other teams make some ground. I think it would be pretty much safe saying that they look certain to be in the top 4 for next season. But those last 3 games are going to be crucial for Leicester. But I don't know. I don't have the right answer whether they're going to be back or not, but it'll be worth seeing how Brendan Rodgers plays. I think he's made his point to the players themselves, so it'll be worth seeing if they do indeed return or not. The next question I have is time to get rid of all my City players. Well, I have. I had 3 of them 2 weeks ago, so I had Foden, Mahrez, and Kevin De Bruyne. I think there's far too much risk of rotation. Players like Sterling, who were like assets last 2 seasons of FPL, along with Mane, are not even getting a game week in, week out, and their risk of rotation, it's just far too much budget, and their fixtures aren't that great either. I mean, yeah, they might have a few weeks where someone goes berserk, but if you kind of average out the points, it'll probably be pretty much the same as any other player, or probably less, because of the fact that they'll probably have a risk of rotation and 0 points against them in the odd week or so. Why don't I ever show my game week rank? Now, there's a reason behind that. There was a period earlier on in the season that I didn't play the game for a couple of game weeks, and it kind of like affected my ranking. So I don't really think I've given the game the full attention it deserved throughout the whole season. So I kind of switched my focus solely upon like mini leagues that I have and kind of competitions that I play within mini leagues of my friends and work colleagues. So my overall rank isn't that great. I can tell you now I'm around the 1.4 mil mark. My highest rank finish was last season, which was around 400,000. But look, I mean, I can give that information if you guys like, but I think it's a true reflection because I haven't played the whole season the way I wanted to in terms of full focus. But next season it will be something which I set on the agenda, which will be I want to finish in this specific ranking position and how I intend to get there. So that will be coming in and out. So I will bring it into my team, kind of like selection information of what my rank is overall. But to be fair, if I make it into the top, million to 750,000 or above, I'll be satisfied with that because I've come from around 2.5 mil, 2.7 mil back all the way here. So not bad in my opinion, but that's the reason why I don't state my ranking. What is my future transfer plan? So at the moment I'm looking to potentially get rid of Rudiger. My intention was to bring him in till this game week because of the 3 game weeks which I thought were going to be nice and kind of like friendly for Chelsea, but they haven't been as fruitful as I thought. He was rotated for one of the games. They lost it 5-2 anyway, so he wouldn't have got me 0 points anyway. And he conceded against Crystal Palace last week, which only got him 2 points, so no clean sheet there. You can get me a clean sheet here. I think some kind of reward or let's say positivity in terms of this transfer, but I think I might get rid of Rudiger. Reguilon, it's just the fixtures of Spurs, which, I mean, I was nailed on to take him out, but yes, he blanks in game week 33, yeah, because of the League Cup final, but fixtures are so winnable, but it's just the clean sheet part that I'm not too comfortable with that for Spurs. So yeah, I mean, maybe Rudiger, maybe Reguilon. I might look at someone like Van Bissaka, Luke Shaw, John Stones as risk rotation, maybe Michael Keane. So I'm looking at a few defensive transfers. Up front, I'm pretty much nailed on keeping them the same way, and Alioski will remain in my bench. Who will have the best fixture swing? I mean, I think Spurs, I've got him on screen at the moment. I mean, those all green fixtures there. In terms of fixtures at the moment, I think also Leicester has some good fixtures, but they'll swing for the worst in the last 3 game weeks. So that'll be interesting to see. Liverpool, great swings now. You can see their fixtures. Sea of green, so they'll be worth watching. So I think these will be the teams that I'm looking at the moment in terms of getting more players in. I've already got 2 Liverpool players. Who knows, I might get rid of Reguilon. and see if I can get in Trent. I've got 0.6 at the moment. So let's see if I put Trent Alexander-Arnold 7.4. So I need to find like 1.3 mil elsewhere. Where can I raise a 1.3 from? Again, yeah, it's going to be a bit tough. Let's see if I take him out there. Bring in Luke Shaw. Got 0.8 left. John Stones. Still got 0.2. What does Michael Keane say? In terms of clean sheets, only got 1, 2, 3 in the last couple of games. And let's look at his fixtures. It's only really one extra game, to be fair, and that's against Aston Villa, so it doesn't really show that much. Dallas, maybe? Stuart Dallas, getting him in? Yeah, bit of grey and green afterwards, but yeah, it'd be worth having a look around to see what I could potentially do. I might have a look at the season and, sorry, this weekend. There might be a few more changes that come to mind, but maybe defensively, Stones and Shaw might come into my squad in the next coming weeks, or Michael Keane will have a look to see what I bring in. Best differential captain this week. So obviously the main picks I've given you, but differential-wise, who's not going to be picked as captain? Iheanacho against West Brom might get a good shout. Bowen against Newcastle, West Ham. Mason Mount against Brighton. Pepe against Fulham. Neto, if he's back, against Sheffield United. Or Silva up front for Wolves. So these are the kind of players that I'm looking at the moment. Yeah, who I can see as like a differential good shout for captaincy this week. Any more double game weeks coming ahead? Yep, maybe 36, 37. No confirmation just yet, but that could be due to the FA Cup. I think Champions League as well. That might be fixtures that pile up. So if the English clubs go ahead, so it'd be worth keeping an eye out for that. Mane or Aubameyang, is it worth them being brought in for this game week? So Arsenal have Fulham. Aubameyang's been off it really. I mean, the one time he scores a hat-trick against Leeds was the only game where he's actually really shown any kind of form. He didn't really play many games. I think he was dropped for the last game by Arteta, so I'm not really comfortable with him. Mane, again's being dropped for form. Will he be brought back? They'd be knocked out the European Champions League competition, so let's see what they bring to the table. I mean, is it worth the risk? No, I think there's better options out there. I mean, if you put those two together, I mean, Aubameyang is about nearly 12 mil, 11.5 for Mane. So you're looking at about 23.5 mil of your budget on two players that are not on great form and are risk of rotation based on their form. So why don't you use that budget elsewhere? So potentially someone like a Salah. If you don't want to go for the Salah region, you know, maybe Son, Rashford, Cavani up front. I mean, that's someone I'm looking at as well. Cavani, because Martial's pretty much nailed. Not to play. Greenwood got a goal against Spurs, so you know maybe these players might be worth a shout. Actually, I'm going to put Greenwood into my last question about differential captain. Maybe Greenwood might be a good shout, or Cavani. Bamford or Iheanacho up front. Iheanacho. If I had Iheanacho rather than Watkins, I think I probably would have gone for 3 strikers, and then who would I drop to midfield? Jota. The decisions, eh? It's not easy being a manager in this game, let alone a real manager. Can you imagine how the managers feel the night before picking their squads? But I guess they don't have that much luxury, but they probably have other staff members who give them a little nudge in the direction of their selections. But I'd say Iheanacho, based on the form and the team they're playing, which is West Brom. Iheanacho out of them two. Bruno Fernandes or KDB to swap for Salah. KDB. I've done Kevin De Bruyne. Leave Fernandes in. Some good fixtures. Less risk of rotation rather than Kevin De Bruyne. They're out of the FA Cup as well. They're out of the League Cup. So the only thing they're playing for is the Europa League, and two competitions I don't see there being much of a rotation. for Bruno. Should I play my wild card next week? Yeah, I mean, if you feel that it's the right time for you to play it, I would. But just if you are looking to play it, I would leave it to the end of the week. Let any kind of like, news of injuries or transfers come through, and then kind of based on form, make your informative decision before the price rises. But if you've got like a plan in your mind already, then please do go ahead and play it immediately as soon as possible once you think you are ready. Will Jota play after being benched midweek in the Champions League? I think so. I think he'll play against Leeds. I don't think Firmino did that well, to be fair. I think he's got a bit of a rest, so I think he will be fit and ready to go to play Liverpool on Monday. Any recommendations for changing Alisson? Goalkeeper wise, I mean, I've got Martinez. I mean, he's got to take off fixtures. Maybe bringing someone in, Nick Pope. Goalkeeper wise, not Manchester United because you've got Henderson and De Gea, unless you want to put both of them in and then kind of rotate whoever plays. Nick Pope, I would say. Mendy, I'm not too sure about. Schmeichel, because fixtures coming up, so maybe Kasper Schmeichel. Fabianski, try them. There'll be good options as well to bring in. Is Spurs double game week being overhyped? Could be. I mean, the last time they had a double game week, Kane captaincy, triple captaincy was kind of like the main topic point. He only got 8 points game week, so the managers who did kind of play it only got 24 points where they were looking for double-digit returns. So, I mean, I don't think it's been overhyped. I think it's got the right amount of hype because I think if people play it sensibly and it all goes well and Spurs kind of get the good returns that their managers are looking for, then I don't see a reason why the hype is not worth it, because it could make a huge difference to people's ranks, moving up in the leagues and overall giving them a better perspective to their season. So I don't think it's being overhyped. I think it's got the right amount of hype, and I think people should take it seriously if they want to make further inroads or move their ranking up. Which players to bring in and which players to take out? So let's do players to avoid and players to bring in. Players to bring in, Iheanacho. If you don't have Iheanacho in, then you need to get a striker. Mason Mount from Chelsea, I would say bring him in. Lingard, if you haven't got him in already, maybe Bowen. Players to avoid, for me, I would say Man City players. I'd avoid them personally. But now, yeah, look, I mean, I might get a lot of responses or backlash going, oh, XYZ got these many points. Yes, they may, but it's the risk of rotation aspect where I am feeling that it's just not worth taking the hit. If like Mahrez gets 15 points one game week and 0 the next, and then someone will say, yeah, it evened out, but that feeling of not having that player starting is something that I just don't like. I'd rather get a player getting 2 points than not playing at all. So that's my feeling. That's the way I want to play the game. Who else to avoid? Maybe Leeds for another 2 weeks before their fixtures get a bit easier. Yeah, so that's the players I'd avoid. Maybe Calvert-Lewin, I'd avoid. Any Arsenal players, I don't think I'd bring in any Arsenal players personally either. Spurs defence, they're shaky at the back. I wouldn't go for them. So those are the kind of like players and teams I'd avoid for those reasons for now. Based on what I've seen, it may change next week based on this weekend's results. So let's go through my predictions for the week. So those are the questions that I've taken from you guys. Everton Spurs, I think it'll be 2-1 Spurs. Newcastle West Ham, I think it'll be 3-1 West Ham. Wolves Sheffield, 2-0 Sheffield. Arsenal Fulham, I think Fulham might do 1-0. I think they'll win that game. Burnley Man United, 2-0 United. Leeds Liverpool, I think it'll be a 1-1 or a 2-2. Chelsea Brighton, 2-0 Chelsea. Spurs Southampton, 2-0 Spurs. Villa City, I think it'll be 2-1 Man City. And Leicester West Brom, I think it'll be 3-0 Leicester City. So those are my predictions for this game week. So please get your squads in before the deadline on the 16th of April on Friday at 6:30. Make sure you key your teams in. Let me know how you found this video. Hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe icon to grow this channel and get me towards the 500 mark. and hit the notifications icon if you want to get the late notifications of my content release. Good luck for Game Week 32. I hope you guys have the best week, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys in the deadline stream. Leave me some comments. Let me know how you thought about this content or this video. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your transfers. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. Have a great game week, guys, and I'll see you guys with the reaction stream next week, because this is a long week. I probably will do it around... I might release it later in the week based on the fixtures. But have a great one. See you soon, guys.